All right, you guys, welcome back to our weekly live feed. Say hello when you log on, and if you'd like to come and work with me, Sean'sShortCues.com is where you have to go, or you can also go to our new Instagram page, which is Stage Ready by Sean. We do everything when it comes to the presentation aspect of the sport. We do hair, makeup, suits and posing, all the fun stuff when it comes to competing. We are live both on Instagram and on YouTube. If you are logging on Instagram, I do encourage you to go over to YouTube because it's a better platform. You're going to have screen shares, you're going to have pictures. So look up Sean for Cuties on YouTube and get over there, or you can click the link in my bio. That works too. Up in the corner for our QR code right here, we have our website. Like my claws, this is for Halloween right here. They're kind of annoying me already. I just did them today. I do my own nails. I just did them today. They're so long and pointy that they're annoying. But I did it specifically for Halloween, and I'm gonna put little like bedazzled jewels on them. They're so long though. I don't know. I don't know if I can. I don't know if maybe it will last through Halloween. Welcome, welcome. Say hi when you log on. What's up? What's up? So we always give it a few minutes for everybody to get logged on and get comfortable. And while we do that, let's shout out our YouTube sponsors. So we've got Prozis is our YouTube sponsor. They do everything for my sports nutrition, and they ship for you too. They have amazing products, everything from clothing to supplements to food, all of the fun things. Go check them out and use Cuties10. Use code Cuties10. There we go. We got it. And then also to Liquid Sunrays. So Liquid Sunrays is the best tanning solution on the market. Use Qs15 to get discounted on your tan, your skin prep, all of the fun things you need to make your skin fantastic for show day and on stage. Hello, hello, yes. Welcome, you guys. I am very tired tonight. Hit me like a ton of bricks today. Oof, Lord Jesus. I'm here though. I made it. I made it. Who else is feeling it today? Who else is feeling? I'm feeling it. And I still got to do some steps. I'm really low on my steps today, so I'm gonna go out and do a walk after this live feed. I gotta get my last meal in. Go out and do a walk. And so I've had people for a long time ask me to do a full day of eating. So I'm going to do that on Friday, I think, and show you guys what I'm eating because y'all wanted to see that. And I've had some people ask me that. I think it's silly, but hey, if you guys want to see what I eat, cool. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do that on my Insta stories. I'm going to put together reels, all that kind of fun stuff for you guys so you can see what I do with my food. So that's something you can check out this week. Jordan is on vacation in Greece right now, so I am still going to do it behind the bikini. Going to shoot that tomorrow. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in depth with some of the posing routines for bikini. So from the Olympia. We're going to talk about what they did correctly, what they need to work on, all those things. So that's going to be the behind the bikini that we do tomorrow. So it will come out as a YouTube upload. So be paying attention to that. So if you don't have our notifications turned on and subscribe to the channel, I don't know what you're waiting for, but do that. All right. I am going to log off of Instagram so that we can get rolling here on YouTube because we got a lot to cover tonight. That. What's up? What's up? All right, that's all set. Cool. So I wanted to wrap up the Olympia that was down in Brazil too, but we don't have pictures. So I'm going to talk about the show, but clearly don't have any photos to go back on. So I'm just going to talk about the top four, really, because they were Olympians, and Vanya won the show and all that. And then we're going to briefly preview this coming weekend because we have one show in Moscow this coming weekend. So the majority of tonight's focus is going to be on Hungary and also Hurricane. We're going to go through their photos. And I'll be honest with you guys, I have not had time to even go through the photos myself. So when we go through this tonight, it'll be all of us together for the first time. So if there's anything that you want to shout out or mention, please do. This is a conversation. I want you guys to ask questions. I want you to put your 2 cents in, all those kinds of things. So that makes it more fun. And it'll probably keep me more awake if y'all are involved as well. It's not just me talking at myself all the time. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to talk about, there's a show in Spain. Did I miss that? Oh, you're right. There is a show in Spain. Hold on, hold on. See, this is what happens when I'm tired. Hang on. You're right. I saw that list. Why wasn't it on the homepage? Did I miss it? Ah, here it is. Okay. Yeah, I missed it. Completely missed it. Because that's the 27th. I was looking at the 26th. That's why. So it's on Sunday. Well, dang it. So we'll go through that too. And we'll go through that one together. So we'll pull up the competitors together on that one. I didn't pull them up ahead of time, so we'll do that. Because you're right. I thought there was another show, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, why isn't there another show here? Because it's the 27th, is that the date for that show, not the 26th. All right. Okay. Got it. So, anyway, let's talk about the Olympia that just happened in Brazil. So, pull that up. Here we are. There we go. So, now this is clearly the actual Olympia and not the Brazil Olympia. I'm trying to get this a little bit smaller so I can still see the chat feature. Hang on a second. Vanya did win it, which we assumed would be the case, based on the fact that she just placed fifth at the actual Olympia. We figured she was going to come in and take this show. So I don't have any photos again from this show, so I can't show you her actual photos from Brazil. But she did win. She did get her qualification. Tyler came out and did his review of the Olympia top 5 bikini and included her as well. She just needs to keep working on her glutes and just make sure that her upper body doesn't get overpowering, which I would agree with. I think she's got a very well balanced frame. I know what has kind of set her back in the past has been that her legs have been a little bit, she had a hard time getting them in condition, and then her upper body was a little overpowering, that kind of thing. So she's finding the right balance right now. Congratulations to Vanya winning that. Also, for those of you coming to Cuties Conquering the Stage 2025, she will be in attendance. She is one of our speakers for this year, so you're going to get a chance to learn from her. Let me put up that QR code. There we go. That'll take you to the Cuties Conquering the Stage tickets if you're interested in those. Learn from her in person. So those of you that have not been to one of those before, it's an actual 3-day event and all of that. So I don't have my DMs up on this computer, so that's an issue. Okay, hang on. Let me figure this out. 1 second. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I see what you're, where are these from? Tell me what website you got these off of. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to do it myself. Let's see. What do here? These aren't the best pictures in the world anyway. Also contest page. I did look. There was a live stream on YouTube, and I did watch that. I was actually training in the gym when that was going on. Let me see something real quick. Um, is it Muscle Contest International is where they're at? Where are they at? Um, I don't ever like the reason why I'm asking. I don't like to put photos up if I don't give credit to the actual website that took them. That's why I always use NBC News Online. Here's probably that music here. Actual page is not loading. Fantastic. Well, for now, I'm going to just not worry about it because the page isn't loading. I don't think it's a load. It's just taking forever. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. Not going to worry about it for tonight. It is what it is. We kind of already knew the results that were going to happen. So, Vanya won. Yay. um, like I said, I did watch the actual live stream it was on YouTube. So I did watch that. And it was pretty clear. They all looked pretty similar to how they looked going into Olympia, so it was pretty much the same. Like nobody looked a whole lot different. Alice was just as tight. Actually, I've got the. Let me do that. You know what? I think I screen recorded. Sorry, guys. I should have been better prepared with this. I think I screen recorded this. I did. Let me show you guys this. This isn't the best video because it's a screen recording of a YouTube video, but this is the confirmation round from Brazil. So it'll give you a decent picture of what these ladies look like. This is your top four. This is your confirmation round. They'd already done first call-outs. They already did call-outs all the way through. I did watch the whole thing. It was kind of funny because most of the girls didn't speak English, so they had to have a translator for Sandy calling out the numbers. But yeah, you can see here, Vanya came in first, Alice in second, Rihanna in third, Jessica in fourth. Like I've said before, Rihanna and Alice have very similar structures, and you can see that here. But Alice was just a little bit tighter. Rihanna was a little bit soft. So I think that's what made the difference between the two of them. And then, Jessica in that fourth place position. So I don't think there was any surprise here. I think we all pretty much knew this is what was going to happen. I think that the only wild card that we would have had would have been if Rihanna had come in a little bit tighter, then we might have seen Rihanna jump over Alice, because we've seen Rihanna beat Alice in the past, but then here at the Olympia, we saw Alice beat Rihanna. So between the two of them, they have very, very similar structures. It's just a matter of who brings their look and their conditioning in the best. So in this particular show, Alice did bring in her conditioning better. Same thing as what happened at the Olympia. So we didn't really see a huge change from 1 week to the next. Everything we predicted pretty much went down. So no big surprises. I have lipstick on my teeth. I'm just a mess today. I have lipstick on my teeth. There we go. There I got it. Can you guys tell I'm tired? Can you tell I'm in prep? Can you tell? Just a little bit? Just a little? Comment in if you feel me right now. Comment in if you've been there, because I'm feeling it today. I'm feeling it today. You can tell like I got my vein popping. Everything's on fleek right now. Yeah, it's been one of those days. Been one of those days, guys. Woo, Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus, save me. Okay, let's go to Hungary. How's that? Let's go to Hungary. I'm gonna try and not close out this screen. Oh my god. Oh my god. I swear, I swear, I had to reboot my whole computer earlier today because I have no updates and everything's all messed up. Good lord. All right, so let's do Hungary. Um, this one was a little bit interesting for a couple of reasons. Let's see. We're in this together. Yeah, I'm feeling it today for sure, for sure, for sure. Um, One of the biggest ones I think that was interesting here, as far as placings was concerned, is the fact that Valeria was in 10th. We predicted her towards the top. She tends to win all of these European shows that she goes into, but she came in super hard, super lean at the show, and she clearly was not rewarded for that. I know she came out today and said, or yesterday or something, and said she was done competing. She's retiring from competing. I don't know. There's always some sort of drama involved there, so I don't particularly think this is going to be the last that we see of her. But I was kind of surprised to see that she came in as lean as she did, because we already know that she's not getting rewarded for that. So only so much you can do, right? Okay, let's move on to our top five. Sophia came in fifth. So the one thing with her, I think she's a beautiful girl, but I just think she needs more glutes in general. I think she just needs some more glutes. Um, let's pull up her front pose. Whenever I've seen her pictures and stuff this year, she's got great proportions, like fantastic proportions. You really can't beat that. But she's not the most conditioned girl in the world. Um, Here, her upper body overpowers her lower body in this front pose. I mean, she's got a great shape, but she's all width in her back and her shoulders versus her lower body. So um, I don't see her winning another show again until she can get those glutes to match her upper body, right? Specifically when we turn her around to the back. She's gonna be towards the top because again she's got a great look. It's just gonna be hard to beat some of these other girls. So from the back pose, I mean, she's lacking in the glutes, right? She needs to take some time off and just build up and out and projection, everything. Like if she could get those glutes to come up to the rest of her body, she would be really, 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 really good. So if I was her, I would just go off season and really like hammer those glutes as far as size is concerned. She's got great shape all the way around, and even her conditioning could be a little bit better here, but even that's not too bad. She just needs more size in her glutes, period. If she could do that, if she could get that size up, she would be really, really, really good. So hopefully that's what she does. Lisa was in fourth, which I found to be a little interesting because she's another one that does tend to win most of these European shows and things like that she goes into. So I expected to see her towards the top, like fighting for first place. But then once I saw the photos, I understood why. Again, her conditioning is a little bit off. You can see a squish right here in her lower back. See how much that connector is digging into her there. So that tells me she's holding some water, some fluid here. Plus, I'm not a fan of this front pose. I've said it before. Tyler has said it. She's way too straight onto the front. Not a fan of the suit. I believe Tyler even mentioned he wasn't a fan of the suit. He might not have, but I know I definitely have. Um, Makeup is still not there. Now before she was going too much, too color. Now she's got none. So it's like, okay, we got to find a happy medium. Just overall, she just needs to fix a lot of the presentation stuff. Again, I don't know who her coach is, but I feel like if she was to get with somebody that was a coach from the US, a lot of these things could be fixed like overnight, literally overnight. So it's her posing, it's everything. Like it's her presentation more than anything else. She's on the more muscular side, so it looks like to me she's trying to bring that down a little bit. And in the process of doing that, she's losing her overall pop. in the process of trying to bring the muscle down. Like here, the conditioning is off. She's still got great glutes and everything, but she doesn't have that projection she typically does because again, I feel like she's either getting tired or she's trying to bring her muscle down, and it's just looking soft to me. Also, we got the sausage ringlets in the hair. Again, presentation issue. I feel like she did this so that her hair wouldn't be too long and touch her glutes. But you gotta brush these curls out, you guys. You gotta brush these curls out. Just finger brush through them, make them smoother. Um, I don't think that the hair would have helped in this particular situation. I just think either her physique is getting tired or she's trying to bring muscularity down and she's just starting to look a little soft. So she's got to rethink some things. Maybe get the coaches from the U.S. to be perfectly honest with you. So next we've got Jess. So this is third place. I am not familiar with her. I feel like I've seen her maybe once before, but I'm not super familiar with her. Let's take a look at her front pose. So you can see here with her conditioning is definitely better, but again, posing is off. This shoulder popping up in the back. She's way too twisted out to the front. She needs to fix this pose. I do think her conditioning is too hard. I think she's the opposite direction of the two girls we just talked about. We see all of this detail in the legs that we don't really want to see. We don't really want to see all this detail. So I think she needs to fill out just a touch. So she's the opposite direction here. Let's take a look at her back pose. So when you look at her back pose, it's really clear that her conditioning is over the top. She has those really hard diamonds in her hamstrings here. Her glutes are also squared off at the top. She's way too hard from the back. Hair is too long to hit the top of her glutes. So again, presentation issue. This pose is not good either. She's making her look harder. It's making her look more square. So she needs to loosen up, round out, put some body fat on. Bottom line, and then she would probably fare better here. Let's take a look at second. So Carrie has been placing second quite a bit this year. She is more on the muscular side in general. I believe she lost from the front and won from the back. When I look at her from the front, she looks very muscular from the front. She's got a great shape, but her waistline is a little distended here. And that was the first thing that really popped out to me was the fact that she's looking a little distended in that lower ab. Could be for a number of reasons. I know she suffers with PMDD. I know she has those issues. I don't know if she was going through symptoms this particular week or not. But that's what's sticking out to me. She is more on the muscular side, so she does have to be careful, so that she doesn't look too full and round. And she needs to really make sure that waistline is tight, so she doesn't look like her waistline is too thick. So if she gets a little bit of puffiness there, it can really hurt her shape from the front. But from the back, I thought she was the best one on the stage. So let's take a look at her back pose. So from the back, I mean, she's pretty spot on here. Conditioning is right there. We're seeing hamstring tie-ins, but not super tight hamstring tie-ins. She might want to try to rework this pose just a little bit, bring the toes completely straight forward, because with that little bit of that twist out in the toes, we're seeing a lot of quad here, and she is more muscular, and she has more muscle in her legs. So she may want to bring the toes straight forward, get those glutes to pop up, so we don't see as much leg here. But that's about all I would change from the back. I think that the rest of her pose is fine. I think that her hair is fine. I think that her upper body's fine, all of that. But she's got some really powerful legs here, so she's got to be careful about the muscularity there. Glutes, to me, were the best glutes on stage that day, though. And then we have your winner, which is Patricia. Again, I believe that Patricia actually won it from the front. I think she was in second from the back, personally. But she was a little bit on the more petite side in comparison to Carrie. So I feel like that's probably worked in her favor. Conditioning is great. Again, legs and glutes are balanced, so she doesn't have too much leg here. She's definitely less muscular than Carrie was. Got good projection, got good pop, all of that. This is a really good pose. I would probably bring the hands up a little higher on the legs. I think she's got them too straight down. She brought her arms up a little. That's going to pop her delts a little bit better here and give her just an overall better shape. But really, this is a pretty good back pose. From the front, pose here. From the front, she's definitely more on the petite side in comparison to Carrie, so they are completely different physiques for 1 and 2. Um, she's got to get this hair off of her shoulder here, and I would twist this more, bring the glutes around more towards me. Again, a lot of these European girls are posing way too straight on. This almost looks like a figure blend with an Instagram pose a little bit. You know what I mean? So just tweak this pose a little bit, tweak the overall presentation a little bit. I'm also not a huge fan of the hair being so much in her face here. Get it off your face. Push it behind your ears, something. Get it out of your face so we can see your face. But these little presentation things make a big difference when you start getting against more competitive people. I like her overall shape. I like her overall look. Her overall flow and aesthetic is very, very good. She just needs to work on some of these presentation details as far as posing is concerned. And again, just brighten up the face, get the hair off the face. We want to see your face. We want to see your bright, beautiful smile when you're on stage, right? Okay, so let's go on to Hurricane. So when we previewed this, if you remember, I was like, we're gonna have, that these girls are all gonna compare very well to each other because they're more on the muscular side. And that's exactly what happened. Going into this, you would have thought that Evie would have taken the win because she was the one going into it with the best placing at the Olympia. But that did not happen. Adair did take the win. Kareem took second, Evie third, Brittany fourth, and Gina in fifth. So we're going to start with fifth place. So this could just be the lighting, but I feel like Gina's tan is really muddy and almost greenish. So I don't know if that's the lighting or if that's what she actually looked like in person. But to me, I'm seeing like some muddiness here in the legs, and you'll see it in the glutes too when we turn to the back. She's got a lot of glaze on from the back. I mean, you can even see it here. She's got a lot of glaze, just in general, a lot of glaze. And this is the hard part about green suits, because if your tan turns a little bit, just a touch green, and you're wearing a green suit, it just amplifies that even more. So I have a lot of girls that want green, but when they've got like a little bit of a yellow undertone to their skin, I tell them the green is just not a good idea. It's just not worth the risk. And to me, again, this all just looks a little bit green to me. Overall pose looks very good. Overall, pose, I would probably twist the glute around just a little bit more. She's doing kind of the European thing where she's a little too straight on. I'd like to see her twist a little bit more sideways, and that would be more to the bikini aspect of it. This is the forward pose like this is very much like the Issa pose from when Issa won the Olympia. And they've really kind of been very vocal about the fact they want to see bikini be more of an S curve. So with her, I just like to see her twist a little bit more in this front pose. Let's take a look at her back pose. She's got a few things going on with her back pose that need some work. She's got way too much glaze on, so I don't know who glazed her, but it's very, very shiny. Now, this wouldn't be a problem if everybody else looked like this, but she does. She's the only one that looks like this. She's got the same issue with her sit bones that I have, where they get darker than everywhere else. I've figured out the solution to that, and you got to communicate with your tanners so that they do it correctly. Essentially, I don't spray my glutes the night before the show. I spray my glutes the day of, and then that way that doesn't absorb as much, and I don't have those marks there. That's just a rougher skin from sitting on it all day long. I also think that she is bending too much, way too much in this back pose. She needs to stand up a little taller. That's going to actually balance her out a little bit better. Right now, we're looking at mostly legs here versus a balance between glute and leg. If she was to unarch a touch and stand up a little taller, her upper back's going to open up a little wider, and her glutes are going to fill out a little bit more. That would be a much more flattering pose to her. But in general, like I said, a lot of this is a tanning issue, I think. Glaze issue, I think. So just has to be more aware of that. Brittany was next. So again, this show was really kind of the battle of the muscular girls because they all have a good amount of muscle on them. Let's see. I know, like I said, I haven't actually gone through these photos yet. Brittany's doing like kind of the opposite of what everybody else is doing. She's a little bit too profile, which makes her glutes really overpowering to me. Yeah. Her legs are still too hard as well, so we just gotta be careful of that. Gotta soften it up a little bit without losing the waistline. Like when she was with the Olympia, we saw her kind of blown out a little through the waistline. That's not the case here. I think the waistline looks fine here, but the way that she's posing, we see these ripples in her glutes. We see like she's too glute dominant here. I think it's a little muddy too. This is a little bit better. She's coming a little bit more straight on, so she's gotta finagle this front pose a little bit, just again so she doesn't look too glute dominant. This is her coming on a little bit more towards the front. It's a little bit better, but we see all these striations in here. And again, I heard that they're not striations. However, they're probably tightness. And I know this just from myself because, like I've been telling you guys on my Instagram, if you've been following along, I've been getting dry needling done because I have shallow spots on top of my glutes, and that's coming from pulls inside of my glutes and my hamstrings and how tight I am back there. And so doing the dry needling has been breaking that up. That to me is probably what she's got going on here. So she's got to get in and get some mobility work done, I think. I think if she was to do that, that would probably help with that particular look for her. She is moving on some of those poses. One thing that she did comment on that was incredibly annoying looking at her photos is her hair. Oh, that's a bad extension job right there, guys. That's the first thing my eye goes to. I think she mentioned something about I don't know what she said. I think that she said that they went too fast putting the extensions in or something along that line. This is the hard part about putting extensions in and doing that really blunt, straight cut. If you're going to do extensions, most of the time I recommend that you do curls so that you can blend everything so that you don't automatically just look at two different levels of hair. That's the first thing my eye went to. Now, outside of that, her conditioning from the back is too soft. She's also overarching up top. She's relaxed this a bit. So this is just a pose that needs to be reworked a little bit. And then also her conditioning, which is interesting because her conditioning from the front is too hard and from the back is too soft. So, she needs to just rework this a little bit and figure out what's going on. Maybe take some time off. She's in a handful of shows. It's time to take a break. And just kind of reassess some things. Okay, next we have Evie. So to be perfectly honest, like we all thought she was going to go into this show and win it. On paper, she was the one to win, but so again, I think that from the front, there's just one thing my eye always goes to with her is this pull in the skin here on this connector. I wish she would just make her connector be a little bit lower so we didn't get all the skin pull here. And that just is directly where my eye goes. So I'm not a huge fan of the pink suit. I like her best in blue, to be honest. I like her in red as well, but my favorite I think on her is the blue. I don't know. Just doesn't do it for me. Just doesn't do it. Just not it. Back pose. So it looks like to me It looks like she didn't get all of her tan off from the Olympia. So got some tanning issues. Looks like to me she tried to soften up her conditioning here, tried to get a little bit softer in comparison to what she did at the Olympia. And in the process of doing that, she looks a little flat, right? So she just didn't fill out enough because I think if she filled out enough, she was concerned that her conditioning would be too hard, that kind of thing. So she erred on the side of being a little softer, and in doing so, lost some of that pop. That's the hard part about balancing that. If you're going to fill out fully, then you're going to lose some of that, that projection, that pop. It just looks a little flat. So to me, she just looks a little flat in general, just a little flat. And then we have Kareen. So she has been in the top two in the last couple of shows here. Not an Olympian, but I feel like she's going to be one pretty soon. Very well balanced physique, really pretty look. Again, she's a little bit too straight on with this front pose. I've twisted around a little bit more. This is like that, like I was saying, that figure light kind of look. You need to pull the glute around towards the front just a touch. Get a little bit more sideways there. But overall, this is very good as far as conditioning is concerned, as far as her balance is concerned. As far as overall aesthetic, I love the blue, and she's very, the tan's pretty, all of that stuff. She did a good job with that. Now, from the back, to me, this back pose is a little too wide. She's actually, her feet are outside of her shoulders. So I would bring them in just a little bit, and that's going to help kind of balance her glutes and her legs. I think by bringing them out a little bit too much, she lost a little bit of fullness in her glutes. And she's pinching her shoulder blades together too. So I wouldn't pinch her back. I'd open the back and let that open up, show that width. And then, like I said, bring the feet together a little bit. That would be a better balance from the back. And the hair is a little bit messy. I would make sure that the hair is clean and brushed out and all that kind of stuff so that we don't look at a bunch of unruliness from the back. So I do think that the posing needs to be worked on a bit. I think overall her physique is very, very good, but I just think that her posing is just a little bit off. Just a little bit off. And then, so Adair did win this. So, back in the winner's circle, really happy for her. To me, she's doing, this isn't a fully posed front pose. She needs to drop the arm down. She's kind of in between here. But that's the only one we have. So you can see here, she's kind of in the pose, but we don't see the full thing. This is what I was talking about twisting that waistline a little bit more. She's twisting her waistline around a little bit more so that we have that V into the waistline a little bit better. It doesn't look like a figure, it looks like bikini. It's a little bit more twisted. That's what I was talking about with these other girls. They need to get that twist into that hip bone. She is more on the muscular side, so I know that's something that she's working on as far as refining this at this point. But now she's qualified for next year's Olympia, so she has plenty of time to refine everything. I know she hasn't touched her upper body in weeks. And then it's just a matter of kind of getting that balance in the flow. Her conditioning is right on. She's just got to make sure that when she gets into these bigger shows, like for the Olympia and things like that, that her muscle isn't overpowering. But again, all of these girls that were in this top four are a little bit more on the muscular side. And Adair just brought her muscle in the best that day. So again, we've got good projection here. Her conditioning is on point. Notice her toes are straight forward. That's what I was talking about with Carrie. Needs to put those toes straight forward. When you're on the more muscular side, you have to downplay those things. Upper body is nice and wide. This is what I was talking about with Kareen. We need to open up her upper body. Adair did that. So all of the things that I was mentioning that these other girls need to fix about their posing, Adair did. And notice that's what puts her muscle into the right balance, okay? So you can be a little bit on the smaller side or you can be a little bit on the bigger side as long as you pose it correctly. And that's what Adair is doing here. Even though she is a little bit more on the muscular side, it doesn't matter because she posed it appropriately, and that's what got her the win. So, congratulations to Adair, and I know she'll be working hard for next year's Olympia. Okay, so that was our wrap ups. Let's take a look at is my list. Okay, perfect. So Moscow is really quick as far as our preview because we don't have a lot of girls in it. We're looking at the competitor list here. There we go. Okay, so we're looking at the competitor list here. There's only really two names that kind of pop out at me. Okay, one of them is Alessia. So Alessia just took fourth in Daytona. She was a little bit more on the hard side here. She's been trying to get back to the Olympia all year, and she hasn't made it. So this is her opportunity to get to next year's Olympia. But she's going to have to get through Katarina, who took second in Daytona. Katarina has a very good look. She just needs to refine a few things. A lot of the things with Katarina is her posing and presentation. She's got a lot of muscle too, but she's nice and full. So if these two girls bring in the same look that they had at Daytona, then I definitely think that Katarina is going to take home the win between the two of them. Katarina also took second to Ari right before this show. So she's definitely on a path to to potentially win. I would put her as my front runner going into the show. So I don't see anybody else on this list that would do anything. I could be wrong, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so here's the Spain show. Somebody shout out names that we should be looking at because I did not pull this one up. Didn't realize that it was this weekend because it's on Sunday. So clearly, Evie is one, for sure. We just talked about Evie. Chantal, is she one? Or is that Chantal? I'm thinking of a different Chantal. It's from the U.S. Carrie is back. Who else? Is there anybody else here on this list you guys see that we should look up? This will be interesting because, we just talked about both of these girls being a little bit more, Evie's tends to be a little bit too conditioned. Carrie tends to be a little bit too muscular. So let's see which one kind of dials their physique in correctly and which one comes out on top. Initially, I would say that Evie would be your front runner going into this, but she just took third, in Hurricane. So she's not a shoo-in, that's for sure. Is anybody else here? I didn't look up these names ahead of time. I didn't realize. So am I missing anybody? Inez. Let's look up Inez. Where is she? Inez Leaves. Did they put her name backwards? Is this how it's going to be listed on NBC News? Yeah, put it backwards. Alright, so let's take a look at Inez real quick. I don't see Inez taking this title. I could be wrong. She might come in a little tighter. To me, she's not tight enough. Got some posing issues there. She's squatting into this. I wouldn't put her in first place position. I would put Carrie or Evie ahead of her for sure. But maybe third or fourth. And then Lisa Marina Blanco, which I did recognize that name. Got two different listings for her. Tahoe was her best showing. I'm looking at the. Yeah, I remember her. Yeah, again, I don't see her. I don't see her doing anything up against these other girls, but I could be wrong. She was the one that had tanning issues. She was way too dark at Tahoe. So, I mean, she's got a great shape. She's got a great look. She just had some presentation issues in Tahoe. Jess Feeney. Oh, yeah, I didn't even recognize her name. Okay, yep. I knew I'd seen her before. She won a show? Oh, she did. She won the Italy show. Okay. There's this girl we were just talking about. I knew I recognized her from somewhere. I'm not super familiar with her, but I knew I recognized her. Okay, got it. So this is just Feeney. Okay. We just talked about. You're right. I still don't see her winning this show. She's softened up quite a bit. What she end up placing? She was third. She was right behind Carrie. Yeah, she needs to soften up quite a bit. Yeah, I think that Carrie still looks fine. Yeah, she's gotten some second places. I don't blame her for continuing to try to push. Um, I would still have her fighting for first place in this particular show. I think it's going to be hard up against Evie, but I'm not going to put it past her because, again, like I just said, Evie just placed third, so Evie's not unbeatable, and I don't really think that Evie's at her best right now. So if Evie was at her normal best, I would say that Carrie doesn't have a shot, but I don't think she is. I think Evie's off. So I think that Carrie has an opportunity here. Oh, look at that lipstick. Why do I keep getting lipstick in my teeth? I'm just a mess today, you guys. I'm a mess. But no, I think if Carrie's not tired, keep going. I mean, she's so close. She's got 42nd places. She's so close. I don't blame her. I'd be doing the same thing. And she's coming in good. Not like she's coming in off. She's not. She's just got more muscle than everybody else. So, she's gotta be able to pose it correctly. She's gotta bring it in right so that she doesn't look overpowering. If she'd been in that Hurricane show, she might have placed second to a dare. You know. What do you guys think? Who do you think's going to take home the title for that Spain show? If I had to guess, I would have it between Evie and between Carrie. Again, I think Jess is too conditioned, and I think this other girl that we just pulled up here too. I don't think Lorraine. I mean, Lorraine Blanco has some promise. We just haven't really seen her do anything higher than fourth. And this Inez, Inez has a pretty shape, but I think she just needs some presentation work. I think she's too soft. So, but who knows? I mean, this is a different show, so she could come in looking completely different. If I had to go based on their previous placings, I would say it's between Evie and Carrie. And if I was Evie, I'd just come in at my 100%. I come in at my best, what works for me in Europe. You know, you can come in a little bit tighter, a little bit more conditioned in Europe and win shows. So if she does that, then it's going to be hard to beat her. It's going to be hard to beat her. So. All right, guys, that is it for tonight. Like I said, tomorrow I'm going to shoot it behind the bikini and give some detailed posing critiques and things like that for some of our top 15 ladies through the footage that I shot while I was there. So that'll be an upload tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm going to let you know tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll get it done tomorrow for you guys. Regardless, we'll get it out this week. So subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when those go up. You can watch them during your cardio and all that fun stuff. If you're local, we do have a Sundays with Sean this coming Sunday. We have a lot of girls getting on stage in November. So if you're local or relatively local and you want to come to a group posing class, please do that. It's so important. You don't even realize how important it is. And I will kick your ass, I promise, because I kicked my own ass this past week. And other than that, if you need help with your posing, your suit, your hair, your makeup, any of those things, that's what I do. So, we got the Cuties Conquering Stage tickets, QR code up there. But if you want to contact me, here is my website right there. It's Sean'sCoutureCuties.com. Hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up here on YouTube. Like I said, comment, like, subscribe, all of the fun things. And other than that, I'm going to let y'all go because I got to go eat. And I got to walk. I got to go get some steps in. All right, guys. Have a great